Alright, it's been a while since I've done an update. I have got a lot of work done on the bike. Tonight I finally finished up. I put a set of tires on it. I thought it was about time to do that. We've got it, they kept going flat. They were old junk mock-up tires. I do have the rear brake working. Fabbed up a mount for the master cylinder here and the reservoir up here, bolts to the frame. Had to space this out a little bit because I was using a Yamaha R6 pivot. Actually worked pretty good with the original pivot size for the original drum brake that was back here. It had a long arm that went way out here to the front. The pivot was very good size, so I used the R6 lever. I did have to reverse it because it was contacting. It was going to be too close back here behind the lever. It's going to be too close to the frame. If I cut out the rear foot peg mounting locations, I would have had plenty of clearance, and at this point I have not decided to do that. So I flipped the R6 lever around, brake lever around. I will have to attach another lever, another arm to it to get the brake lever out here where it needs to be. It is going to be very long, but I think that it's going to have, I think it'll work all right. So I do have a concern about motion, maybe too much motion for rear brake, but I think it'll work. And most of my riding, I do front brake anyway, being that most of your stopping power is in the front brake. I have cleaned up some of the wiring, tucked it up, tied it to the frame, tied it to the bolt engine bolt here, tied it to the frame, so it's going to be very clear through here. I ordered some filters for the carburetors the other day. They should be here this week. Just some general cleanup. I did mount the voltage regulator up underneath the back of the tank mount. Started a battery mount back here. This should clear the seat, which I don't have made yet, so it'll be easy enough, I think, to make a seat that clears the battery. That way it's got it'll be covered, have a very clean line. The rear suspension is completed, does work well. I do need to do some touch-up welds up here at the top. Just haven't got it finished welded yet, just mainly real heavy tacks. What else did I do? I got a front wheel off of a 80s model Yamaha. I think it's off a Maxim, but it may be off a mid-80s Virago. I cannot remember. It's been a while since I got it. The axle size is the same as the Honda 750, so I was able to retain the axle. Had to do some spacing to center it. Brake calipers do work. They're not on here right now because I need to take them apart. They don't release properly, so I'm going to take them apart, clean them up, put them back together. Of course, I got another front tire, so tires are good. I am going to paint the wheels, or paint the front wheel anyway, to match the rear one. I kind of like the black with the red stripe. The fenders that I worked on, the rear fender that I worked on, front fender I have not done anything with other than sand it and prime it. I haven't painted them because I don't know what I'm going to do for paint yet. Part of me wants to do kind of a rat bike type of thing, and another part of me wants to really do it nice. For the chain, I got a chain and sprocket kit for the R6 that the swing arm came off of, as well as the 750 Honda. That way I had the front gear and the rear sprocket for the bike and the wheel, and then I don't even think I had to lengthen or shorten a chain at all. I think I was able to use one of them. I can't remember which one I used. Tail light wiring just kind of hanging out there because I don't have tail lights yet. Don't know what I'm going to do for sure. I did put a set of bars on it, much shorter, narrower drag type bars. I did put some of these big red Coke bottle grips on them. I had a set of Coke bottle grips on another bike that I worked on a year or so ago, and I really liked them. I like the style, I like the feel, they're very comfortable. A little hard to keep clean when they're not brown or black, but we can make that happen. I have not decided what I'm going to do with gauges. These are the factory ones. They do work, they need to be cleaned up real well, but I haven't decided if I'm going to retain those or do away with those, because my another bike we worked on this summer, we ended up using a digital gauge assembly on it. This is really nice setup. It shows fuel level, what gear you're in, has your turn signals, neutral light, oil, temperature light, high beam, all integrated into that one unit, along with a digital speedometer and a analog style tack. Took a while to figure out the wiring, because it came with came with no wiring diagram, or next to no wiring diagram. It's a Chinese unit. We found some videos on YouTube that helped get it lined out. Speed is based off of electronic pickup with magnets on the front wheel. Tack input comes from the ignition coil. The only reason I'm thinking I may not use this unit is because it has the fuel gauge and the gear indicator, which this bike has neither. So I could use a tank off a different bike that has a fuel gauge in it, or cut into my tank and do a fuel gauge, but I haven't decided to do that yet. So not sure what I'm going to do for gauges yet, but it is coming along very nicely. Like I said, I haven't decided what I'm going to do for paint, if I'm going to use do a rat bike type of thing, or if I'm going to tear it all back apart, clean it up and paint it, and what kind of paint I'm going to do. Haven't decided. So I do have the tank over here on the floor, I believe. Oh, here it is. That is the factory tank. I had to order a petcock for it because it was rotted off. It's got a few rust spots where I'd sanded on it years ago, and that's where it had a decal there from the factory. I do also have the original Honda logos, the Honda emblems that bolts the screw to the side. Again, don't really know what I'm going to do yet. So, thank you for checking in, and hopefully we'll make some more progress in the next couple weeks. Like I said, I did order pod filters. I ordered a new choke cable because this one here is broke. I have to make some battery cables for my battery. The factory ones weren't quite long enough, and I ordered rear brake pads for the R6 swing arm, because the brake pads that were on the caliper that I had are junk. So that's where we are right now. I'm getting really excited. I want to ride it before the summer's up. My sport bike's a lot of fun, but I want to ride this too. So thank you for watching. Bye.